Okay, welcome everybody. I'm like super excited to have our three leaders training today. This is so surreal and absolutely incredible that like it's a really euphoric feeling for me to be watching our team train. Like I just got chills thinking about this. It's like a whole different level of stigma shifters. And so I'm really excited. The training is going to be bomb. The song you guys just heard, that was Erica's walkout song. And I am really, really excited to introduce Erica. So those of you who were on the award ceremony, Erica won the Girl on Fire award. Her and I have known each other for about a year now. We actually met at a vendor event somewhere in the middle of Michigan. And then we met up a couple different times after that. And she was just such a strong individual, but I could see that she was like searching for a home. She was searching for something to give her more value. And we just became friends and we talked. And then one day we were talking about the meal replacements and I just went in bold and it was like, you should do what I do. Like 1000% you should do what I do. And she said yes. She trusted me. She said yes. And that night we started running and I have seen more growth from her than I've ever seen the entire time I've known her since she's been in Q. She's become so confident and loving, and like the fact that she is about to train the entire team where she's never really seen any success before is something that is makes me like, I don't have kids, but I feel like a proud mom right now. So I am really excited. I'm going to make Erica the host right now, but I am so excited for Erica to be training you guys today. She is going to be training on, she's going to be training on the in-person sampling and becoming more of your true self on social media, which is really important because people try to have this like fake essence about them on the internet. And I can sniff that out in like 3 seconds, and most people can too. People appreciate you when you're real. And so Erica's social media game has drastically changed since she's been going through all this growing, and I'm excited for her to share that. So Erica, the stage is yours now, and I will let you go ahead. And I'm going to mute myself.
Awesome. Okay, let me quick share my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Awesome. Okay. Well, let's get this going. Okay, so like Jada said, I'm going to be talking about in-person sampling and becoming your true self. Before talking about that, I just wanted you guys to get to know me a little bit more. I spend my time either cuddling my 2 puppies or spending time with all those kiddos that I nanny. So other than that, Q is basically my life. So the 3 basic steps that I follow when I go about talking in person to somebody are the who's, the what's, and the whys, which before going and talking to my neighbor, these are the 3 steps that I go through with my head. It's, okay, who am I talking to? Is it the neighbor who I'm mutual with, a family member I see all the time, or a complete stranger I see in the store? Knowing your comfort level in your relationship will help guide the way the conversation is going to go. What are you wanting to sample them? Are you wanting to do a hemp oil, a sport drink, a focus, a shake, or one of the sprays? And why do you want to sample this to them? Why would it benefit them? Does your neighbor have anxiety or depression? Does your family member have trouble sleeping? Is the complete stranger a gym rat and could use the sport drink as a pre-workout? Knowing these things are going to help you start the conversation and know your common ground. So promoting your products, when you sample, people are either there for the taste, the feeling, or the visual effects. The taste is the hemp oil, like Jada said. You do the drop on your hand, and yes, you sanitize because of COVID, and they lick it. They see what flavor they like the most. Same thing with the sprays. 1 spray in their mouth, they see if they like the taste. Shakes, focus, and sport. So keeping those packets with you are really important. The feeling, it's not the touch feeling like, ooh, this is soft. It's the feeling inside, the way it makes them feel. If you're able to, like Jada has been able to send full bottles of Q-Max to somebody, or the powder to somebody, and them being able to see every day that they wake up and they feel better about themselves, or the Vitalize and their hormones are regulating, they're not fighting with their husband as much, their mood stabilized, or immediately after they work out and they do the Excel, the cream, and the joint pain just goes away. The visual is the longest one that takes to see results. I mean, not as much as it does without these products, but the trim, the align, the shakes, seeing that progression of the weight loss is another visual effect that helps. There's good and there's bad when it comes to in-person sampling. The good is it induces an emotional response. Hiding behind a screen, someone can send a text and you don't really know, like, oh, are they happy? Are they upset? Are they into it? Or are they just kind of like blah? But unless you have like a really, really good poker face, which I don't, when I'm talking to someone, they can visually tell when I'm like, this is so cool, or like, walk away from me, please. So being able to be in person, it shows the emotional connection that they have with these products, or if they are actually into the conversation. It ups your chance of reality. It's if they are having friends over and they see the shakes on the counter and they just get to talking or whatever, and they send me a text and be like, this happened to me twice, by the way. Got a text like, hey, sending my 2 friends your information. They saw my weight loss. They asked about my shakes. They want to know more. I'm like, sweet. Also, if they are posting, like, I sent my aunt a sleep spray and my nieces and nephews, she put a story about them getting sprayed, and I got 6 people asking her, like, help me. My 2-year-old wakes up at 3 a.m. and is up until 7, help me. And they send me my information. So doing that is upping your virtual connections as well. The content you share attracts the relevance to your peeps, like the people under you. If, like, I used Alicia's weight loss pictures to my neighbor because she wants to lose weight. And I was like, let me tell you about this, but first let me show you my friend's results. And I showed it to her. And automatically, Alicia was like, I want to be her. So it ups the relevance of, okay, yeah, I can trust this girl. And you become a reliable source of info. The more times you feed the information about these products to the same person, they're going to be coming back to you for questions about anything, because they see that you know a lot about this, so they want you to be the one that gives them the more information. Now, with the bad, it's not easy. Being a person who has anxiety, it's not easy building up the courage. Like walking out to get the mail in the morning, and I see my neighbor walking out in his underwear, and I'm like, is it a weird time to talk to him? Is it not? And I'm like, you know what? Go for it. I'm like, hey Jeff, how you doing today? And I talk to him, and I find the common ground in that conversation, and I'm able to kind of use that common ground. If I start losing myself in the conversation, or I start having anxiety, I go right back to that of what we have in common that we were talking about. But it's definitely not easy. It takes a lot of courage. So I practice my 20 seconds of courage with in-person stuff, because that's something I really want to work on. It's not free. It does come out of your pocket. I believe that if you put money into your business, you're going to see a lot come out of it more. You're going to see more come out of it. So it is a price that I'm willing to pay, and you guys should too, because the results are phenomenal. And adapting to different personalities is really difficult. I'm not saying to change who you are and the way you talk with everyone, but I am 20 and my neighbors are married with kids. They're in their 40s, and I believe that your personality evolves as you grow up because of different lifestyles, and we are in 2 different lifestyles right now, and it's kind of hard for me to find a common ground with a 40-year-old. So I have to sit back before I go and talk to him and go back to the basic steps: who, what, and why, and use that as my comfort zone. Now going on to becoming your true self. Who here has an iPhone? Okay. On Sunday mornings, when you get your little your screen like share where it says you spent 7 hours on Facebook every day, or you spent this much time, you kind of start to feel guilty and be like, oh my goodness. So instead of feeling guilty, you should be able to feel, you know what, I was myself during that, and I don't regret being on that. I was growing my connections. So the things that I have learned to do to help become your true self is know your purpose online. Are you there? Is your purpose online on Facebook to stay connected? Before Q, it was Facebook for me was to stay connected to my great aunts and stuff, the older people. And then Instagram was for my friends that I graduated with, and Snapchat was for my mutual friends. But knowing your purpose, if you're there to gain relationships, if you're there to stay relevant on news or anything, just know where your purpose lies with the app that you're using. And go out of your comfort zone. Go out to coffee with that girl and post about it. Go join a group. I did this. I wasn't into book clubs. Like, I wasn't into reading. And Jada was like, you should join a group on Facebook for book clubs. I was like, okay. And I realized joining in and going out of my comfort zone, I have seen a whole new aspect of life, of all these books that would fit me, that I'm ordering on Amazon. The Amazon guy is probably so mad at me. He comes to my house every day with books or anything, because it opened up a whole new aspect and new friends, new things that you have learned with new people that you've learned. You have new relationship with people. That I invited my aunt, and my aunt and I didn't know about her past, but I ended up getting to know my aunt a little bit more, and we have become closer because of the book club, believe it or not. And also, going out of your comfort zone brings me down to my next point. Post a picture not taken by you. Statistically, 37 people admit to altering their selfies, putting a filter on to make themselves look better. And that's only the people who admit it. But that picture, that black and white picture, I picked apart for a day and a half. I didn't like my arms. I didn't like my hair. My head was tilted weird. My dress was wrinkled. I was like, I can't post it, Jennifer. I can't post it. But Jennifer was like, no, you look pretty. You need to post it. And posting that, it's more real. It's going out of your comfort zone because it's something that isn't perfect. But that's what people need to see. They need to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Share your thoughts on the world through beautiful words, videos, and images. You know, anyone here a natural born traveler? Anyone who wants to go like majestic places? Me. Post a post about, hey, like, anyone else want to travel with me? These are all the places I want to go. And post the pictures, the beautiful sceneries of it. And the people who comment are like, let's go together. Next year, let's do it. Boom, there's a friendship to start growing. Or don't be afraid to put something controversial on there, to get different opinions and start to alter, obviously in a respectful manner. Don't manipulate people through a screen because you can, but do it so you can start getting, you know, I have a lot of friends that don't agree with a lot of things that I do, or that I don't agree with what they do, but we can still keep that because we all do it in a respectful way. And never lose sight of your purpose. Don't, because you friended Sarah from high school and you want Sarah to think you have your shit together, that you want Sarah to believe you wake up every morning at 7 a.m., full face of makeup, dressed up, ready to conquer the day, when we all know we walked out a snaggly mess, not knowing what day it is half the time. But don't fake it just for Sarah. Or you think Jimmy's cute and you're all, oh, I'm going to post this picture of Jimmy, when it's not something you would ever post. Always stay true to your purpose. And add energy to those offline relationships. This is something I was notorious for doing. I would be out on an adventure with my friends and I would take a picture of them and I'd be like, okay, I now need to take 15 minutes and pretty up my story and post it. No. Take the picture, save it to your camera roll, post it later. Enjoy the moment that you're in, because social media is important, but those in-person relationships and to be personable with others, you need to be there. And finally, these two things I saw today: tear off your mask, your face is glorious. Obviously not your real mask. Please wear a mask in public, please. But take off that fake one that you're putting on for so-and-so or for your family. Always show your true self, because being your true self is the most effective formula for success there is. You showing your true self through social media, you're going to group the people around you. If you post fake stuff that isn't you and you start gaining friends because of it, those people like you for the fake person you are on social media, not your true self. Post your true self, because then the people who surround you are going to like you for you, and those are the people you want to follow and have them follow you through life. that's all I have to say. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and pass it back over to Jada.
Wow. Is anyone else like totally blown away by her right now? She sounds like she's been doing this for years or something. Holy crap. Okay. I might have just teared up a little bit throughout moments. That was amazing, Erica. And every single thing, you're like a freaking sponge. I swear, like you have compiled everything you've heard from different areas to like really hone in on what everyone else is talking about as well. I'm super, super proud of you. That was really good. And I actually learned a couple of things too. And the biggest thing that I want to comment on is that she was talking about how when you go out and you're doing adventures and you take a picture and you want to put it in your stories. Okay, I used to be really bad about that, guys, and it ended up affecting my marriage. And so the times that you spend with your people are more precious and important than anything else. Sure, share from other people, share to other people so people see highlights of your life, but take the picture and put the phone away. Don't try to do any of that stuff right then. You guys will notice that most of the time now, my stories and posts are like a day or two behind because I want to share what we're doing, but I love my family more. And I'm seriously so proud of Erica. And wow, that was a really good training. Like, hello. Okay. So, and you look fantastic too. I'm over here looking like a scrub, but you look great. So next, our next presenter and next leader is Miss Alicia Morley. I'm really excited. She's one of my closest friends, and we didn't even know each other before January, and it's crazy. I don't think I could do life without her now. And actually, I know I can't do life without her now. Her husband like takes her on like, I don't know, some kind of vacation for like 4 days, and I'm like, get back here right now. I need my Alicia fix. Morris, she's mine. Go away. Because she has become such an integral part of not only my life and friendship, but also our business. And she's one of those people that she leads with love. And she's like the person that's quiet in the back. And when she has something to say, though, it's really impactful. You may not see her active as often. She shares in our Q News on a regular basis and our different things helping me out in that way. But when she has something to say, she thinks about it. And it takes her time. And when she says it, it blows your mind. So I'm really excited for her to talk about growing your friends list, because that's something that is totally out of her comfort zone. It's something that I saw. There was a lull, and I've talked about this last time, but there was like a lull in her business where she was like, I've already talked to my people. I don't know what to do. And I said, you need more friends. You need more people. You need a bigger funnel. And so she went from, what was it, like 200 friends to like 1,000 in the last 60 days or something like that. That number's probably off, but she can tell you. And the thing is that she's like sorting through and she's building relationships with people and friending people that she thinks might be of interest to her and grow her as a person. And so I'm excited for her to talk about that. She can tell you the real number. I don't know how many friends she started with, but I know that she added a crap ton, but she spent basically the whole month doing that. And she was going to different groups and stuff like that. And I'll let her tell you that story, but I'm excited because she's a full-blown introvert. She's a mama of 4, and she fits in Q into her crazy life. She hit executive in 30 days, and her and Morris are on their path to elite. She's doing amazing, and she just won our July runner first half for the most productivity. So, Miss Alicia, I'm going to make you the host, and I am going to shut up.
I mean, no pressure or anything. I mean, I don't have no presentation like Erica. I'm just winging it like I do my life. I mean, you pretty much just told my whole, all my notes I wrote down, so I think I'm good. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I'm Alicia. I'm a mom of 4 crazy children, mind you. They're very crazy. I mean, they might be burning my house down. I'm not sure, but hey, we're here. We're alive. I'm fine. It's fine. But yes, what Jada's saying is when I first went into this, I was like, I don't know anybody. I don't talk to nobody. I have no friends. My Facebook wasn't at 200. I mean, it was 600. So it's not too bad, but I still ran out of people quickly. I'm like, I feel like I'm messaging the same people and nobody is just like taking my bites here, nothing. So like Jada said, last month, I really, really focused on growing my friends list. I was stuck. I'm like, I need more friends. So last month, I started joining groups that were my interests, mom groups or funny meme groups, any groups that intrigue you, things that you like. Don't go add like a car group and you're just like, this is so boring. Don't do that. Go to groups that actually intrigue you. Then my next tip was to just kind of skim through there and find who interests you, like who's commenting on those, who do you laugh at? Mine are mainly like the ones I laugh at. I want to laugh. I enjoy laughing. So I would always find people that make me laugh, and then I would skim their page and make sure they're not a weirdo, make sure that I like their page and it's not all spammy. And if I like what I seen, I would hit add. My goal every day last month was to add 20 people every day. When Jada asked me to do that first, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. That's too much for me. But then I was like, I know Jada knows what she's talking about, so I should probably just do it. Just do it, Alicia, whatever. What are you going to lose here? So when I finally let go of not knowing people adding to my friends list and realized that this business needs to be social and you need to get out there and meet new people, when I finally let that go, that's when my friends list like really grew. I'm like way over 1,000 friends now. I don't even know half the people on my Facebook anymore, but I have them reaching out to me now. And that brings me to the next thing, is always making sure that you're posting on your social media. I know Erica was kind of sharing about that as well, but I encourage you to always post on your social media, because that's where you're going to get a lot of people to know you. They need to know who you are. Don't be fake, like Erica's saying. You have to just share your thoughts. Don't hide behind all, being fake. It's just, people love to see the true you. So yes, I kind of fell back last month, but I was really focusing on growing my friends list. But I never ever stopped sharing on my stories and my social media. So I wasn't reaching out to many people, but I was growing my friends list and constantly keeping up on my stories. And this month, I've had the most customers I've had, I think, since I've joined, just from them seeing what I'm posting, and my result and stories tell people they're my results from my weight loss. Everyone's like, what are you doing? Like, I want that. I need that. I need it now. And just being vulnerable too is very important. Always sharing your feelings on things. I'm still practicing on that. Sometimes I don't get as much as vulnerable as I could, but I've noticed since I've really let go of things, of not caring what others think too, that's important. I've really grown my business from that. Also, you'll start getting a lot of friend requests too. That's important to mention. And half of them will probably be weirdos, like spammy guys or even lesbos that want to know if you're a lesbian. If they look fake and they have no likes on their profile, don't add them. Just block them. And then if you do end up adding someone, there is other people out there trying to make a business out of, selling online. So you will get a lot of people that will try to spam you that way too. And hey, listen, I can teach you how to do it without spamming, just be blunt with them. There's nothing to lose there. And then they start getting intrigued on what you have to say. So I do have one girl that she does Thrive. She's never bugged me yet, but I've been asking her questions, and now in return, she's starting to ask me questions like, well, what do you do? Like, I've never really seen you post all your products everywhere. Like, what is it that you do? So yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. Did I get everything?
So if you were, I'm going to ask you some questions because Alicia
Okay.
is more like a question answer kind of thing. So what are some things that you look for to friend someone on a glance to add to your friends list? Like, what are
Okay.
little key things that you're searching for to make sure by the way, her comment was because somebody tried to FaceTime her in the middle of the night and was like, hey, can you be my girlfriend? And then another person was like, can I have
No.
some feet pictures? And they sent pictures of Morris's feet.
No, well, I've had a couple weirdos. The feet one, and then I had a girl constantly video chatting me and was like, you lesbo? And I'm like, if you looked at my profile, you would know that I am not. And then my third one started just, I've never even talked to him. He randomly started video chatting me, so I had my husband answer it. And the look on this guy's face was priceless. And he's like, he acted like he couldn't hear anything. And my husband's like, can I help you? And then all of a sudden he disappeared. So that was pretty funny. But
So
what do I look for?
Well,
What?
since then, how have you censored out creepos?
Okay, so now I honestly don't really add guys anymore because most of them are fake. Honestly, like when I go to a profile and it's a military, those are usually fake right away. Or doctors, there's doctor ones a lot that act like they're a doctor and they're not. I also just scroll on their page, just like I kind of mentioned already, if they have any likes. Like if nobody has 0 likes, they're not real. Like where are your friends? People would at least be liking something. What else do I look for? Like I said, I kind of don't do guys anymore because most of them were fake. So a lot of the girls that I go to, I'll look at their profile and see if they have a family because I'm a mom. So that's a common interest for me. I just look at if people tag them, that's another thing that people are real because if people are tagging you, you should be real, I hope. And I just kind of just scroll and I don't know, like funny things if I like funny things, and I don't know what else I look for. I think that's pretty it.
So this might seem like a really simple question, but a lot of people actually don't know how to do this. How do you find groups to join?
Okay, so obviously being a mom, I started typing in the search bar mom or funny meme moms, or a couple of the new ones I've joined were introvert. I'm trying to think what other groups I've joined.
So do you just join them or do you actually interact in them?
Okay, yeah, good point. I join them, and then that's when I'll go when I'm approved, because mainly you gotta ask those questions nowadays. Once I'm approved, I'll go in and kind of skim there and see what people are posting, and then I'll comment on those too. And I'll go like people's comments if I like them. That's another super important thing too. When people do start adding you back, or you add them, go to their profile and like 3 things and comment on 1, because then they'll start posting up on your Facebook, on your news feed, so you can start interacting more with them too. Always, always, always comment with your friends, because if you're not commenting, they don't know you. Like you want to, interact with them. They want to know about you too. Ask questions too. Always, always, always. And like, I just had someone, she had a cute picture with her daughter and they were in America dress, and my husband, he likes America, so we're always getting that print. And they were wearing this cute dress, and I was like, oh my God, that's such a cute picture. Where did you guys get your dress? It sparked interest, started talking to each other. So that's another way to build up your friends too. Always ask questions. And there's always something you can ask. Like just look at where'd you get your earrings? Where did you get your shirt? Where did you go? Where's that at?
Those are perfect. And it's awesome because you guys are hearing from people that have built like from the bottom up. Like Alicia completely did not know where else to go. Like you just heard her, and she was able to build her friends list in like 30 days. And now she's like, her social is blowing up. Like every time I look at her post now, I'm like, dang, she's getting more interaction than me. I got to step it up. But it's awesome to see things like that because you guys, a lot of times I feel like you think that, oh, well, I can't do that, or I won't reach that goal, or I can't, like, I don't know people. Literally every excuse you have, as I've all told you all, we have a solution for it. But I think it's a different level entirely hearing it from other people. And it's been awesome to see Alicia like build her friend list and do all the things she's doing and see her become more vulnerable on social. I remember when she was about to post her first weight loss picture, I think I was on the phone with her. Yeah, I was on the phone with you. And you're like,
Yep.
I'm going to die. I'm going to poop. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to delete it.
Can't do this. Can't do this.
And I was like, hit the button now, do it. And then she has had so much from that. Most all of her business has come from her being vulnerable with her weight loss journey.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you think that is something that's the hardest for you to share on social, share it. Because people are going to resonate hardcore with it. So thank you. Oh, go ahead, Alicia. Did you have anything else
Oh,
you
I
wanted
was
to?
just gonna say how, my daughter was drinking air. That was my post today. I gave her a juice box and I went right through and I'm just taking this cute picture, like, look at her. We don't drink juice boxes often. Let me take a picture. And she's looking at it like, what did you give me, Mom? There's no juice. So yeah, people like funny things too.
Yeah, and if you know Alicia, you know how sarcastic she is all the time. And coming from someone who didn't understand sarcasm really, it was a little rough in the beginning. It was a little bumpy, but I was just joking around. So if those are the things that you love, do it. Like, for example, I joined an Office Addicts. You guys know The Office, Michael Scott. Oh, okay. I joined one of those groups, and I was watching it today while I was working and sending out my messages. And I was watching the episode where he talks about scuttlebutt. Like, what's the scuttlebutt? It's like, what's the information? What's the 401? And so I just posted in there, and it was like, hey, everybody, what's the scuttlebutt? Give me something good. And I had that post blew up. And so it's not like, go through and make posts too, because the more you become a conversation starter, the more you're going to have information coming in. I'm sure that if anyone's listening to this and they're having no idea what I'm talking about, but I promise it makes sense. Okay. But thank
People
you so
also
much.
like to be the expert. I want to add that. So even if you know the answer, just ask anyways, just to see your thing blow up, because people love to give their opinion and be the expert.
Yeah. If you need a boost on your Facebook, go ask if people wear masks or don't wear masks, or go wear something super controversial. Don't say your opinion, just ask a simple question. And you will feel like you're back in Viking days and people full blown back savage mode. But it boosts your algorithm. Okay, so thank you so much, Alicia. Really appreciate you sharing all of that. I'm super proud of both of you. Like, I can't wait for Ashley's, because it kind of ties in the two together. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but our graphics have been a little different lately. They've been much brighter, they've been much more attractive. I am very like, and you can think all that creativity and beautiful graphics from Miss Ashley. She has taken over that, and it has been such a big help. But it occurred to me after I was talking to someone that they have no idea how to make graphics. They don't even know, like, legitimately where to even start. And so I was like, you know what? We need more graphic training. And who better to do that than the creative Ashley? And she's going to be talking about that, but she's also going to be talking about her strength, which is she joined the Chamber of Commerce, and she's been doing a lot of in-person things. And, she joined the Chamber of Commerce, but she also is a part of a couple of different business-minded groups. You heard Alicia talk a lot about joining groups that like make you laugh and have to do with moms. Well, Ashley's have been much more like entrepreneur centered business. Every person learns differently. Every person has a different way of working. And it's good for you guys to hear from each person. Maybe your thing is in-person sampling while your neighbor's walking in his underwear. Maybe your thing is joining groups with memes and funny mom things, or maybe your thing is professionalism and chamber of commerce and the boss lady and things like that. Whatever that may be, Ashley's about to tie in the rest of the trainings. So I'm excited because Ashley actually took a huge leap of faith with me. She was actually with another company, and she ended up, we ended up becoming friends, and I just was loving on her. And I finally stopped being scared, because I was kind of scared to ask her, but I was like, you know what? It's time. I'm going to ask her. She would literally be so perfect for this. And we talked for a little while, and she said yes, and the rest is history. She's now become one of my closest friends. It's kind of crazy how that happens. People join in Q, and then they become like family. It's no joke. Like, our culture exists the way it is for a reason. We stick together like glue. So, Ashley, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to mute myself, but I'm excited for you to train everybody, because I've been learning actually a lot from Ashley.
Thank you, Jada. Well, I'm super excited to show you guys how to do the graphics. And actually, Jada referred the graphic apps to me. I did not use any of those. And now that I have all three of them, she only referred two of them to me. I did all three of them, and it just kind of like ties in, and you can play with it together. So I'm going to go in there, and we are going to use that. I have quite a bit different apps that I use. I like Color Story to kind of like pop my pictures, or I use Instagram because those are the two quickest. I'm a mom. I don't have time to do the other ones to like make them all like sit there, high temperature, low temperature, all that stuff. It's got to be quick for me. So the graphics, the way I use my graphics.
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, is it not sharing?
No, it's just showing your profile picture. You're not sharing.
Here. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right.
Can you hear us, Ashley? Can you hear us?
I don't know what happened there.
Okay. So let me make the other you the host. Hold on.
Okay.
Bear with us, guys.
And then it's just share content.
Yes, ma'am. It should just be share content.
Okay.
Okay. I made you the host.
Okay.
There you go. You should be okay.
And then it's just share screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see. Nothing.
Sharing anything. Yeah, nothing showing. Do you want to send me the presentation?
How about,
No, there's nothing showing. Why don't we do this? Because it is a visual and it does have to be like actually shown, and we're having some technical difficulties. Why don't we do her part like on the next Thursday that we're supposed to do?
so I joined Chamber of Commerce. I needed a different way to be able to network with people. I didn't want just Facebook or Instagram be my only way to network with people. And why not join Chamber of Commerce? I actually did a Zoom meeting with a lady, and she invited me, who runs the whole thing. And so I have like probably close to like 10 or 12 different cities that we get to network with. Slowly but surely, everybody's like going to be coming together. There's only a limited amount of people that can be in the in-person events, but we can also do them on Zoom. So it's just getting to know these people and make friendships. Not only is it about me just making those friendships, but not going in there with like a complete agenda. It's not about that. It's just making time to have that, give them love and compassion and show them the person you are. Because once they get to know you, that's when they're going to want to know how they can get the products, because they already know what I do. It's already marketed in there. They put it on the Facebook group, Facebook, their Facebook Chamber of Commerce. My it's on there. They've posted it in emails for people. So everybody in the business knows what I do. It's just them getting to know me and who I am. I don't want them to know I'm just the health girl. Like, I'm more than that. So taking that time to get to know people and making those friendships with people, to me, is important. And it's more than just like being online for me. Like, I need more than just online. I want people to see my face and get to know me and see me on Zoom. So we're on Zoom a lot. And that's another way to market the business in that aspect.
So what would you say, like, I know you said that you wanted to do more in person and you wanted to have another avenue. What would you say makes what you're doing so different than social, like what Alicia and Erica do?
It's not always online. It's about getting out of the online realm and also doing in-person stuff as well. You're doing the same thing, but in person and not always behind a screen. So
Why do you feel that that's important?
because people will be able to know you. I mean, you can build relationships on Facebook and Instagram, but they get to see your facial expressions. You get to be like in person and like have a real conversation where it's not just like voice messaging or like messaging somebody to send them. It's a great way to build relationships. I have done it on Facebook, but I just felt like I needed more than just that.
And that's the thing, is that so many people have different ways of working, and you can work from your phone. You can absolutely do it through social selling and social media, but it's not going to last long term. You have to marry the two together. You can do that for a while, but you have to drip on people in person as well, as much as you're able to. Or in Zoom, everything can't be through text message. If somebody, all they ever want to do is talk through text message, I know they're not going to be successful in this business, because we have to be able to do the Zooms. We have to be able to go and meet the people. And so my question for you, Ashley, is if someone wanted to get involved in their local chamber of commerce, what are the steps that they would take to do that so that they can grow their business in that aspect?
They would have to look up the Chamber of Commerce, and there's one person that runs it. There's a phone number that you can look up the Chamber of Commerce that's down in your area, and then call that number, and they will direct you to where you need to go from there and who you need to speak to or take your information.
And does the Chamber of Commerce do events that they organize and you guys come to, or how does that work?
Yes, they do. Actually, like, there's been so many events that had to be pushed to Zoom, but they do a lot of in-person events. And if it's more of like a fancier, like some of them are like black tie events, those are the ones that you have to pay for, but you get to like go do like nice evening nights out, and like they have a golf one that you had to pay for that you can get involved in, but I'm not a golfer, so it's not my thing. So I set out of that one, but there's a bunch of different events that they post every month that you can attend.
So essentially, the Chamber of Commerce is an avenue that you don't have to go out and search different vendor events. The vendor events are brought to you for being a part of that. And
Yes.
so you don't have to waste your time going to find things. It's all right there where you can easily access it, almost like a social media platform, but an in-person connections. So it's kind of like the groups scenario. Do you feel like that it is growing your business? Have you seen results from that?
I'm still building my relationships, still getting to know people. Since I haven't been in it too long, I'm still working on hopping on those Zooms and getting to know people, but it will get there. My goal is to get to those outdoor events and spend time with them there.
So the reason I asked you that, I already knew this was a brand new thing, is that I wanted you to share that because so many people don't see the process as it progresses. And I would love for you guys to like get involved and ask Ashley questions and like, hey, how is this going? How is this going for you? And obviously right now, in-person events are a little more difficult because of the world that we're living in, but they found an alternative through Zoom. And so if you guys, I want to thank Erica, Ashley, and Alicia for doing this. I know that it takes a lot of guts to speak in front of your peers, in front of the people that you mentor. I know it takes a lot of guts, period, to do it, and not everyone is natural with it, and that's fine. But you guys have the capability to do anything you put your mind to. I used to almost pee myself talking in front of people, like no lie. I used to have full-blown panic attacks. I would stutter. I still have a stutter. I don't know if you guys know that, but I have a really bad stutter when I publicly speak sometimes. And I work through that because I know that the impact that I can have on people. And for you to grow your business, you have to practice. You have to get out there. Ashley's a perfect example of that because she loves on people hardcore. And she waits and she's patient and she knows when the moment is right to offer that. And when she does, guess what? They sign up as customers or ambassadors. Ashley actually has the most male ambassadors out of any ambassador. She hasn't recruited any female, actually, from my understanding. And that means that she goes like, and I'm saying this, okay, take it with a spoonful of sugar. Male ambassadors are very straight to the point. They're very business. They're very not all the lovey-dovey feeling stuff, right? Not necessarily. I mean, it's not a cut and dry, obviously. But my point is that is exactly perfectly what like you expect out of a chamber of commerce. That is Ashley's niche. If you're comfortable doing that, then that she's a natural at it. For me, it took me a while to build up to be comfortable in a business atmosphere. I felt like I was like playing dress up or something. I wasn't professional enough for that. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get. And I loved how Erica talked about, because we talk about the 20 seconds of courage a day. Do something that scares the living crap out of you one time a day for 20 seconds. And if you do that, your business is going to become an empire and you're going to create a legacy. What I have seen Ashley go so out of her comfort zone. Like a lot of the stuff she's doing, she's a single mom of 2 kids, 2 little boys who are nuts. Those kids have more energy than I have ever seen out of any kid ever. Like, I don't understand how she's standing at the end of the day, besides 4 Dragon Sport drinks a day, but which hopefully you're not actually drinking 4. The other day she told me she had 3 and I was like, okay, how are you alive? How are you sleeping? But all jokes aside, it's pretty incredible the things that she's able to accomplish being a mom of 2 busy kids and fully supporting herself. And so it just goes to show that if you guys want it, you can have it. You just have to go get it. So I hope that you all learned something very valuable from this training. We are going to have another one of these next Thursday. I'm super excited. We'll reveal who's speaking and who's doing the training then. But if you guys loved this, if you found value from this, go into the team chat and say what you found. Share that. Share the things that you're implementing. When you find something that one of either Erica, Alicia, or Ashley said that you found value in and is helping you in your business, reach out to them personally and send them a message and thank them. Y'all, the messages that you send go a long way. I have a folder that's titled "You Are Worthy." And I take a screenshot every time one of you guys or a customer or an ambassador or a friend or a mentor says anything kind to me for the bad days, because there are bad days. We all know that. We talked about that last night on our motivational call, but save that album. And so when you have the ability to make someone smile, to make someone's day, especially when they just did something like this, balls to the walls, and like presented in front of the entire team, tell them thank you. Thank them for their time. I know that I couldn't be more proud. Like, I can't even believe I got Alicia to do a training call. It's been like 7 months of me trying to get her to do anything. And she's just like, okay, fine. It's fine. I'll poop, but it's fine. And I'm like, who are you? Like, it's crazy. Or like Ashley, you know, she made sure her boys were set up and she was good to go. If you want this, you can make it work. Every single one of these ladies does it every single day. So stop using excuses of, oh, I don't have time. Oh, my kids are crazy. Oh, I don't know people. Oh, I don't have friends. I'm not good at selling. I don't like people. I'm an introvert. I can literally go on for days. Every excuse that you give has been proven debunked. So stop making the excuses and go live out your life. If you want a better house, a better savings, a vacation, a better way of living, the only person that's going to create that is you. That's it. And it comes from day by day practice and work ethic. So if you are not in the July run group and that is something that you do want to do where we daily check in, we can definitely do that for you. It's not too late. It's never too late to get ahead, but that group is intense. You do check in every day. If you don't check in for 3 days, you are removed from the group because this is serious. This is accountability. This is your livelihood in your business. So treat it as so. Do the things that you need to grow yourself, to grow your business, and to grow your family. So I hope everyone has an awesome night. I hope that you found value from this. And again, thank you so much, Erica, Ashley, and Alicia for doing this for us. I know that I learned things from you guys. There's things that I don't do or haven't done that I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. So learn from your people, ask questions, partner with somebody, find a sideline to run with. I have several sideline runners. So you guys, I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you're running for tomorrow. I hope whatever your goals are that you are not giving up on them and you're like, I'm going to hit it by Friday at midnight. It's happening. If I want Karen share, I am going for it. Tomorrow is July 31st. Let's go.